Hey everyone, here we are back again. So today we want to talk about I would say, product that we recently launched, or you can say implemented here at White Shark Media, which is connected TV. We have already a good stack of campaigns running. We are already seeing some very good results, but we're also on the other hand experiencing quite a bit of, I wouldn't say confusion, but maybe different interpretations of what is connected TV, what is it about, and what outlets are available typically, etc. So we wanted to break it down today and have a little bit of a conversation about that. And I brought some reinforcements. I brought Daniel, who is going to be helping us with explaining what is connected TV and what impacts can it have for your business. So Dan, maybe you want to broadly just start covering connected TV. What is that monster?
Absolutely. So connected TV, guys, is really the ability for an advertiser to run an ad campaign or a spot, so to speak, on different placements that have to do with actual TV shows. So it's essentially the equivalent of like linear TV, which is what used to be your regular TV when you were at home and you were watching your shows and you'd see some ads running up. With the evolution now of many people cutting cords and buying services like Disney Plus, Paramount. I'm a big, Netflix guy, for example. And so there's multiple different options for subscriptions. And I'm sure, just like me, many of you guys are at home watching TV and occasionally you'll see an ad show up. So connected TV is what allows to make that happen. Yeah. Is what allows a spot to run on connected TV platforms like that. And it's going to be a 15-second, 30-second, or 60-second spot that we're able to run on behalf of our customers.
Good. And I think if you want to maybe explain a little bit on the YouTube front, right? Because they have a separate product and separate products there. So you want to break down how YouTube works, and then we can maybe talk a little bit about what we're doing through Amazon and our Amazon DSP, where we have access to another set of channel. That's at least our setup. Not saying that that's equal for everyone, but that's how we have it structured, at least, correct?
Yeah, so I think that's a perfect distinction in terms of how we are currently setting things up. So we have the ability to run ads on YouTube TV as well as on just standard connected TV. And I'll make a quick difference. Talking about common confusions, there's big confusions on just YouTube ads versus YouTube TV. So I think that is an important distinction to make from the get-go. So when you run ads on YouTube, you might be familiar with just consuming your regular day-to-day channels. Like if you're watching informational videos, your podcasts, etc. That's a regular YouTube ad. That's not to be confused with YouTube TV, which is a separate subscription service that is available in the United States. And it gives users the ability to also, again, watch ESPN, live sports, CNN, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So I think that's an important distinction to make. And so YouTube TV is more premium awareness. It's more for mass consumption. Is if you are a brand or an advertiser that really needs to get that message across to a wide variety of people who are potentially in market for, or you're trying to increase brand awareness. I think that's a phenomenal way to.
And you cannot, as a single advertiser, place budget right now directly for YouTube TV, correct? You have to set up a new account. There's another account structure for that, correct? Or am I wrong here?
Oh, well, I think you're sort of in the right place.
In the middle.
And somewhere in the middle, I would say.
I'll take it.
And so what happens is that if you're a standard advertiser today and you want to run some ads on YouTube TV, there's two key components to it that might restrict you from being able to run. Restriction number one is there is a certain media level that you need to have. So for example, if you're new to Google Ads and you want to run YouTube TV, you will not see that option available on your account by default. You will only be able to run standard YouTube ads campaigns. Okay. And so it's important to have a certain spend history.
Okay.
And for clients that are in that range, partnering with an agency like White Shark Media, we have the ability to tap into our premier resources. We have the ability to whitelist a particular client ID to be able to run regardless of your spend history in the past. So I think that's one of the key components on that. So
great.
But essentially, once you've had a certain amount of history, you have the ability to request your account to be whitelisted. But it certainly won't be available for you right out of the gate. You have to go through a Google rep to request it. There's a manual process, and not all accounts get whitelisted.
Yeah. Okay. And great. So call White Tribe Media today. Is that what we're going to say?
That's exactly what I was thinking.
Or another agency. We're not saying we're the only one, right? But we are one option. On the Amazon side and our Amazon DSP, can you kind of just give an idea of what are the channels that we have access to? Because it's quite the bundle, right? So we have there's quite the mix, and maybe you can list some of the. Or we can put them up right here on the screen.
They'll be showing up here.
But maybe you want to talk about a little bit about that. What is the mix?
Sure.
Yeah.
So we just talked, for example, how there's a difference between YouTube and then YouTube TV. We've also described the differences between linear TV and connected TV, which is more generalized. Essentially, YouTube TV is a part of connected TV. And when you talk about connected TV, you have to talk about usually buying through what's called a demand side platform. That's what stands in when you see Amazon DSP. That really is what the DSP stands for. It says a demand side platform. So what that means is the technology that allows us as an agency to buy media on behalf of a customer.
Yeah.
So through Amazon DSP, which is one of many DSPs available out there, if you guys are not familiar, there's multiple technologies to do that. We choose to do Amazon DSP for a variety of reasons, including very competitive CPMs, very unique audience signals that we have the ability to get through Amazon. And some of the channels that you are able to find within it are, some of the more popular channels out there. So you can buy from Paramount, you can buy from Max or HBO if depending.
It is HBO Max again now.
It is HBO Max again. Yeah. They can't quite make their minds up about that. You have the ability to buy through Disney, through Hulu. You have the ability to buy through Pluto, for instance. So if you're into sports, maybe Fubo TV is one of those where you want to advertise on if you have an audience that consumes a lot of sports media.
Yep.
So there's so many different channels that we can choose from. We have the ability to advertise on almost, at least on leading channels, there's got to be at least 40 to 50 channels that we have the ability to publish ads on. Not to mention, of course, the more common ones that you'd expect from Amazon, which is obviously Amazon Prime Video, which is obviously there as well. So definitely a lot of options to choose from, and that's why it's so important to work with an agency, because you have to do a little bit of profiling, understanding your persona, and then trying to see where is let's say the best match of like channel combination with age range, with audience signals, and really fine tuning to find that right place to be on.
And just to clarify, if you are a single advertiser, are you able to go and do your own placements, or do you need to work through someone that has access to a buying platform such as the Amazon DSP?
So similar to YouTube TV, there are certain restrictions of entry, or there's a level of a barrier of entry here.
Yeah.
I think for Amazon DSP, which is one of the ones where you can buy from, the barrier of entry is higher than it is for YouTube TV. Yeah. So just like you very well said it.
What is the barrier?
So the barrier of entry is that as a regular client, you're not able to buy on Amazon DSP.
Okay.
You have to go through either a reseller or an agency that is able to get your account in there, with the exception of, again, some of the, let's say, mass media brands that are out there. Again, you won't be able to just go straight in to buy it. Amazon does offer a self-service option, which is more, let's say, or a lot less robust than Amazon DSP, where it's almost self-service option. But the placements you're going to find are not as premium, so it will primarily be more for Amazon owned and operated.
Yeah.
And you also don't have a lot of options in terms of targeting, etc. So if you want all the bells and whistles, if you're thinking of investing upwards of $10,000 a month, if you want to be able to achieve premium reach, great at recall, and really be able to measure results and have meaningful impact, I think working through a more robust option through the Amazon DSP as opposed to self-service options out there is what you would want.
You've mentioned CPM a couple of times.
Yes.
I know what it is. Do you know what it is? I don't know. Everyone, I think, doesn't know what CPM is. Typically, we operate, and I would say probably a lot of the smaller advertisers knows what pay per click is and things like that. But CPM, what is that? I know what it is, but you explain me and the group here, what is that all about?
Absolutely. I think CPM is almost like the brother of CPC, so to speak. And if you guys are familiar with cost per click, CPM is really cost per 1,000 impressions. That's the more common way to refer to it. And I think it also is understanding that CPC and CPM are different is also kind of one way to understand that you have performance marketing, which a lot of the times is based on that kind of per click option, whereas this premium awareness product is more so just on how many people can we reach, and obviously you want to find the right people, but at the end of the day, a lot of it is based on how much is your ad shown over a number of times. And so CPM is the way that you pay for ads when it comes to connected TV. Yeah. So that's essentially how your billing is going to be set up. So it's not about how many people click on, because more often than not, if you're watching the video, you're not going to be able to click on it. Unless you're watching it on your phone, of course, or you're doing some QR codes and stuff like that. But the point being is that the billing process for CTV is related to how many people are seeing it, and you pay by a certain rate based on the number of people that are seeing that. So again, cost per 1,000 impressions means, for instance, for YouTube TV, you might find that a 30-second spot is going to run you $45 on a cost per 1,000 impressions, give or take.
And then there are some premiums.
Yeah, there's some premiums on top of that you can get into. So that would be $45 for every time 1,000 people are seeing your ad. And so that's usually how you'll measure, how you'll do your budget planning. And, we work with a lot of different advertisers that are going to give us a certain target of people that they want to reach to, and then we'll give them the right budget to be able to make the most out of it, where it might be a more premium CPM because we are able to also hone in on a more premium set of users based on different targeting options and signals and in-market segments.
Good. I think that's it for today. One interesting topic to discuss soon, and maybe we will do a video about that, is actually how are we setting up one of these campaigns. Typically, we pair it with existing performance campaigns, but we rarely do a connected TV campaign standalone. But I think we can maybe soon do a little bit of a video about how we do that. How do we set up the campaign? What are the segmentation options? And soon you'll be able to press play on that and see how that works.
Sounds good.
Thank you for watching.